So we're almost done, guys. We're almost done with my season in review videos. We are 2 or 3 videos away. Next up is the cornerbacks. And I misspoke in my linebacker video. The corner, let me rephrase that. So in the situation where, the front seven and all that, and of course you got the linebacking core, which is the middle section before you reach the cornerbacks and the safeties, who are the players that actually defend the pass, and the linebackers, the defensive ends, the defensive tackles are responsible for the runs. So here's the thing, though: the cornerbacks and the safeties. Here's what I'm going to say right now to preface for the next 2 videos or segments. Is the secondary for most of the season was horrible. The cornerbacks and the safeties, a lot of changes had to be made because a lot of players kept on getting burned, with big play after big play after big play. So Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio had to change a lot of schemes, had to change a lot, had to use a lot of players in and out. And I'll break that down and my thoughts on, those players who disappointed along with players who surprised. So let's get into the cornerbacks. So here are the cornerbacks that actually, played for Washington. Kendall Fuller, welcome back to DC. I know it's already, it's belated, but I wasn't a YouTuber when you came back last year, but welcome back. You had an incredible year. Yes, you got burned in certain big games, but hey, when you came off of injury, because I remember it took you a while to get back from injury. I think you didn't. The Ravens game was your first game, and you had 2 interceptions in that game. You had a couple of games where you had interceptions in a row. You played outstanding. 4 interceptions at the beginning of the year, but as time went on, you kept on getting burned. But hey, you really need help in the cornerback room, and as like I would always say, I'm gonna break down a couple of other cornerbacks who could find a future here in Washington. But you played great. 4 interceptions, really good pass defenses. Played very well. The only thing that you got to fix is pass interference, and you should be good because you had a lot of pass interference calls on you late in the year, and that's what cost Washington in certain games. So that's the only thing I got to say about that. Next cornerback, Ronald Darby. And here's the thing, Ronald Darby surprised me and a lot of Washington fans, and here's why. Ronald Darby played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was injury prone, and he was prone to getting beaten in coverage. And at the beginning of the year, it was much of the same thing. He was beaten in coverage, couldn't, stop the pass for all he was worth. Was getting burned all the time. But as the season progressed, he showed that he could be a good corner. I hope Washington, can get him maybe a 1 or 2 year deal, another 1 or 2 year deal. He had a 1 year, $4 million deal this past year, but I wouldn't be opposed of him coming back here to DC because in that 4-3 scheme, he actually showed that he could do something. Had a big game. When was it? It was the Cincinnati game. Against Cincinnati, he played incredible. But that second half of the season, he played awesome. So that is Ronald Darby. Now, however, here's another thing, and this is what I think that Washington need to address. Again, off-season or draft. Find another cornerback because I like Jimmy Moreland. He's just too small, and his size came into play in a lot of games. Kept on getting burned. Allowed big play after big play. Really didn't. He had an okay season, and he's going to keep on growing. But I think Washington would benefit from having another outside corner. Maybe have Jimmy Moreland in the rotation, but he really didn't impress me as much. So But like I said, he's gonna keep on learning. His size came into play, but he played okay for what he needed to do. Fabian Monroe, another corner, who again, okay, nothing to see here. I think he only had one interception on the year. I think Jimmy Moreland had like two interceptions, and I think he had a pick six called back. But his interception returns were actually decent. So I'll give Jimmy Moreland that. Fabian Monroe last year had 3 interceptions. I don't know if I think he had like 1 interception this year. Like I said, outside of Kendall Fuller and Ronald Darby, the cornerbacks really just were just meh. So that is my take on the cornerbacks, guys. Like I said, I would like to break down any cornerbacks that could be coming here, free agency or in the draft. So that, like I said, keep an eye out for that, or an ear out for that, because I use audio instead of video. So next up, guys, is the safeties.